Did you guys hear that? There's a new Star Wars show coming out, and the trailer's on YouTube. Wow, I wonder what people think about the trailer. Oh. Oh no. Not this shit again. Quick disclaimer, don't go after or attempt to harass anyone featured in this video. Leave your thoughts and opinions here instead in the comment section. Having seen the first trailer for the Acolyte, I was somewhat intrigued and impressed with what they were showing. Not that they gave away much, but still I was somewhat interested. The action looks to be martial arts focused, which isn't something Star Wars is known for, providing a fresh take. The characterization was basically nothing besides teachers, students, and Rogue, that being the girl that fights the Jedi in the trailer. Finally, there was the intrigue, which was an assassination mystery, suggesting that the focus of the show's plot will be to reveal the identity of the assassin. If what I've gone over seems to be nothing special to get upset about, that is because it do be like that. So far, the show has done nothing that could possibly offend anyone who is looking for quality entertainment. It merely has shown off its base premise and some action to go along with it. Yet, a large group of fans have taken to openly and loudly express their distaste towards this show before it's even come out. I'm going to go ahead and discuss some of the rhetoric being utilized and review the logic on display here. I decided to spare myself from going over the insane cesspool that is the trailer's comment section on YouTube, since it would be impossible to discern any sincerity due to the sheer quantity of comments wherein people mostly just point out the like to dislike ratio, being 10% likes to 90% dislikes basically, or doing some form of parodied quote intending to downplay everything Disney Star Wars related as an intentional effort of killing the franchise. Shout out to the Harry Potter joke though. But then, as luck would have it, I came across an unassuming video discussing the trailer Outrage by a small YouTube channel. The takes in the video in regards to the trailer itself were rather level-headed and honest. Liked certain things but didn't like others. And confusion was expressed over the whole situation as the outrage didn't particularly align with what was being shown in the trailer. As one might imagine, with the video being level-headed and middle of the road as far as reactions go, the comment section turned into World War III. With such amazing takes as calling the guy a Disney chill, while not saying anything positive about Disney in the video, stating that there's no way this doesn't turn out to be total garbage, after having only seen the first trailer, etc. The main comment and its responses I wanted to highlight here is this. Star Wars has found itself in a precarious position with its own fandom's perception of the franchise. Much of the discourse surrounding Star Wars today is expressed through a heavy-handed projectionist contrarianism, and it leans particularly towards the woke culture war nonsense that is plaguing discourse regarding any and all large media artistry. Pause, if you will, to read this entire comment and ponder the lackluster eloquence and oversimplification with which this comment is arguing its stance. The conflation of a person's personal opinion with the quality of their work, the appeal to authority argument that once again has no relevance on quality, the poor spelling while expressing some casual misogyny indicating intensity when typing the comment out. It goes on. For the record, I have seen the prequel trilogy. It's not exactly Lucas's greatest accomplishment. The first one's pretty good, second one is an awful roller coaster, and the third is a solid, well-rounded film. In spite of being called out for not understanding separate the art from the artist, and thus taking the work at face value, this guy doubles down on his stance, as zealots so often tend to do, with more projectionism and obsessively pushing the George Lucas knows best narrative. The ironic thing is that when the prequels came out, the narrative in the fandom was completely the opposite, and George Lucas was being bombarded with hatred. Most of which claimed him to essentially being stupid and failing at understanding what made Star Wars so great in the first place. The exact thing this guy and many others like him is saying about the Disney Star Wars era. We have effectively just supplanted one overlord with another. On top of that, I would like to take a moment here to address something egregiously silly that this guy stated in his counter to separate the art from the artist. While yes, he is correct to some extent that when it comes to an intellect is what produces art, what he fails to recognize is that this same intellect does not control nor can it know how the final product will be perceived by its audience. essentially failing to understand that the value of art lay in the eyes of the beholder rather than in the personal views the artist may have personally. Furthermore, the assertion that art is inseparable from the intellect which created it suggests a myriad of unaddressed issues with how Star Wars is being perceived. Firstly, specifically phrasing it as intellect of a person is what creates art is befuddling, seeing as most art is first created with the heart as a guide, emotional expression, and second, refined with the mind, intellectual expression, thus making it either an ignorant statement or an oversimplified one. Secondly, the assertion that Star Wars and George Lucas is forever linked and being unable to be separated completely rejects the notion of artistic inspiration and transformative continuations of the original work, which are staples of long-running franchises, especially serialized ones like Star Wars, which has gone through multiple variations upon its own entity under George Lucas's care alone, which wasn't exactly well received positively back in 1999. I defer to my earlier comment about supplanting an overlord. And third, George Lucas doesn't own your perception of Star Wars. What an audience experiences when watching a film is always subjective and unique to them. No filmmaker, no matter how talented, can ever know how their work is being perceived. There is at times an idea for the quality of the work, but that idea is from the perspective of a filmmaker, not an audience member. I also would like to address the point of pattern recognition with Disney Star Wars. What fucking pattern? Is this guy referring to Disney wanting Thing to be made as fast as possible in order to fulfill some arbitrary quota of shows being produced annually to ensure that there is always a new show airing on Disney+? There could be an argument there, but the guy did not elaborate further, just made an oversimplified statement to set up another oversimplification. And making the even more arbitrary claim of if the trailer looks stupid, the product will be stupid, if the trailer looks good, the product will be good, without any form of articulated merit establishing what would constitute good or qualifying it as stupid. The main issue here is the style of rhetoric being applied to the argument. It's bad faith oversimplification meant to bring doom and gloom over the context of the debate. Whether intentional or otherwise, the output is the same. By making these poorly construed arguments consistently, a narrative is formed around a context, creating a meta-awareness issue. That issue can oftentimes be simplified to, I don't enjoy this thing like I did as a kid anymore, and I'm beginning to see the flaws, new iterations, holds more clearly compared to before. Not to mention lacking in comprehension when it comes to the creation of artistry of this scale. It's a collaborative effort requiring multiple individuals to work together towards a common goal, an endeavor which provides an endless challenge throughout the conception and production of the art. Filmmaking is nothing but problem solving. There are other issues I could tackle in this comment thread, particularly in regards to the blatant misogyny on display. Calling a woman a gold digger in an effort to dismiss or downplay their value in this manner is misogynistic, but I think I have expressed my most pressing grievances with this rhetoric here. I'll probably return to it though once the Acolyte has finished its run. And as a final reminder, do not attempt to engage with or hunt down anyone featured in this video. Keep the discussion here and maintain civility. Thank you very much. Have a good one all. Goodbye.